Not everyone has hundreds or even thousands of dollars to spend on CS skins, so that is why I am making this budget loadout video for a complete CS2 inventory under $100. I will have the prices up on screen in USD, GBP and Euros, and all prices shown are going to be taken from Steam price buy orders. So if you are planning to buy these skins from third-party sites and marketplaces, you will be able to save money and get them for even cheaper. So to start things off, we have the pistols and the Glock Bullet Queen in field tested, coming in at $6.35. This is one of the coolest looking Glocks, especially for this price point, and especially because you're going to be using this pistol in most of your rounds, or it's going to be visible in most of your rounds. It's definitely worth picking one up. Next up on the list, we have the USP-S Ticket to Hell in factory new. This is only going to set you back $168 and is actually one of the cheaper skins on this loadout, but ultimately the skin looks incredible, especially at this cheap price point. I recommend picking one of these up. It's black and white, it's clean, and if you do own a pair of gloves or a knife, it's going to match that perfectly and fit into any themed loadout that you may already have. Next up on the list, we have the P250 See You Later in field tested, coming in at $2.95. Once again, we have a very cheap covert skin that I believe is super underrated and looks a lot more valuable than it actually is. If you are somebody that uses the P250, then I strongly recommend picking this one up. Now, next up for the dual Berettas, we have the Melon Drama in field tested. These are going to set you back $139, but for what you are getting, these are currently one of the nicest looking dualies in the game, and they're cheap, so I don't see why you wouldn't want to pick one of these up for yourself. Now, if you are somebody who uses the Tech 9, we have the Tech 9 remote control in field tested at $152. Now, this is another cheap pistol skin that I believe is super underrated and looks really clean in game, especially if you're able to pick up a good float. This is one of the skins that won't let you down. Now, for the 5.7, we have the Boost Protocol in field tested, coming in at $175. In field tested, this skin looks clean and aesthetic, and the colorful accents really work with the black and white design. This pistol also really works with the black tie gloves if you do own a pair, but overall this will just match any loadout that you may have, so it's definitely worth picking up in my opinion. Now, the final pistol on the list is the Desert Eagle Mecha Industries in minimal wear. This is coming in at $692, which is one of the more expensive pistols on the list, but if you're like me and the Deagle is something that you use quite regularly, you do want to invest a bit more into this pistol. Alternatively, if you are happy with field tested, then you can just pick up a field tested one and save yourself a bit of money, but if you do end up doing that, make sure you go for a low float field tested. I've gone with minimal wear on this list because the lower the float, the better the skin looks and the brighter it looks. So picking up a minimal wear one, you're almost guaranteed to not be let down, and this pistol just looks pretty clean in general and can be used for both sides. Now, I also want to cover agents, which I see a lot of these types of videos actually miss out on. So for the T side, we have Professor Shamat, the Elite Crew, which comes in at just over $5 US. Now, this is one of the cheapest T side agents available, and out of all of the cheap ones that are available, this one looks the best in my personal opinion. Of course, if you don't like this one or you have a bit more money to spend, you can just select a different agent that you would prefer, but for the sake of sticking within our budget, this is the best that we are going to get at this price point. For the CT side, we have Michael Cyphers, the FBI Sniper, coming in at $7.09. In general, the CT agents are a little bit more expensive than the T side agents, so this is one of the cheaper CT agents that are available, but I still think it's really good and works out well as a budget friendly option. If you want a chance to save some extra money from this loadout, then you can actually win a T side agent right now by joining the giveaway in the description. All you have to do is leave a like on the video and join the Discord to enter. Also, if by the time you are watching this video this giveaway has already concluded, then it's worth having a look anyways, because I tend to do weekly giveaways for skins, so definitely don't miss out on those opportunities. For the Mac 10, I have gone with the Discotheque in field tested for $282. It's a unique skin that changes color based on how you move and shoot, and it's very affordable as a T-side SMG. Coming in at $239 is the MP9 Food Chain. The skin is bright and colorful and features a set of beasts devouring themselves along a food chain, hence the name, and is a unique concept on a skin on a weapon that is used quite frequently on the CT side. For the XM1014, I have decided to go with a field tested XOXO, which is a unique pattern based skin. Basically, there are 1,000 different ways this skin can look with this specific texture set, so you can find one you like and that is unique to your loadout. Definitely worth picking up one of these for only $1.54. For the P90, we have the Vent Rush in factory new for just $170. The skin looks super realistic as it has a metallic 3D effect, and factory new is not that expensive. A good budget option for gunning people down with the P90, and it can be used for T and CT side, saving you a bit of money. For the Scout, I have gone with the Fever Dream in factory new for $264. The skin looks absolutely amazing in factory new, and there's lots of different details along the gun, and overall it just looks really clean in my opinion. Definitely worth the price tag and definitely worth worth picking one of these up. Following a similar theme, we have the Galil Chromatic Aberration, which is a super good looking budget Galil skin. Definitely worth $2.31 in my opinion, and you can even get this skin in Battle Scarred, which looks very unique, and the entire skin looks a lot darker than usual, with most of the paint being scratched off the skin. For the Famas, we have the Famas Roll Cage in Field Tested for $2.41. This is another cheap and, in my opinion, undervalued covert skin. I love how the red, black and white fit together, and if you can find one with some stickers already applied onto it, that would look even better and make the skin that much more unique. For the SG, if anyone actually uses this gun, we have the Dragon Tech in Factory New for $179. The skin is actually very impressive and affordable, and when you scope in, the scope is still green, which is a very cool feature, sort of making it so you can still see the skin even when you are scoping in. For the AUG, I have gone with the Random Access in Factory New for $4.94. Now the price here is actually a bit higher than the market price, but that is because I would recommend overpaying for a lower float Factory New so there is less visible wear and scratches along the gun. And it's not that much more expensive of an overpay, only around $1 extra, and if you are somebody who uses the AUG, that is a very worthwhile investment in my opinion. Now for the main rifle and the most expensive item on the loadout by far, we have the AK Headshot in minimal wear. This one will set you back $21.18, which is a large proportion of the total budget, but it's going to be one of those weapons that is the most used, so you will get good use out of spending money on this. As well as this, you want an AK that looks good, and the difference between minimal wear and field tested is definitely very noticeable and worth paying in my opinion. The skin also just looks very good, and it changes color when you are moving around, similar to the Mac 10 Discotheque mentioned earlier on, making it one of the few weapons in the game that can actually do this. For the A1S, we have the Amphorosaurus in Factory New for $2.84. This is a great budget M4 and one of the new M4s that recently got released, definitely worth the small price tag. However, if you find this green sticks out a little bit too much and you would prefer something a little bit darker, the A1S Black Lotus is a close second, but it does come at a bit of a higher price tag, so it's up to you which skin you actually buy. Now for the M4A4, I have chosen the In Living color, which is one of the most underrated M4 skins in the game. In field tested, it will only cost you $5.70, and if you can, I recommend getting a better float field tested because the difference will be visible and the skin will look much cleaner the closer you can get to that 0.15 mark. And for the final skin in the loadout, we have the AUG Chromatic Aberration in field tested for $7.75. Now I have said to go for a field tested here because the skin looks super clean, but if you do prefer a battle scarred alternative where the scope would be black, similar to how the AUG Asimov wears down in battle scarred, then you can pick up the battle scarred version for yourself, but you may need to overpay a little bit for the worse floats. Now if you do decide to buy all the skins mentioned in the video, you actually will have just over $5 left, which means you will have room for flexibility. So for example, if there are some skins that you wanted in a better condition or others that you could do with a worse condition to give yourself some room to upgrade some desired skins, you do have the ability to do so. As well as this, there were some less popular weapons that I didn't mention, like the revolver or the Negev. If you do use those, you can substitute some skins from my list or buy skins for those weapons anyways with the leftover amount. I tried to cover all the weapons that most people will use, so I do apologize if a particular weapon you were after was not covered, but overall I think this is a well balanced and complete loadout, including some really underrated and fantastic looking skins. If you do want to see more videos like this, then just drop a comment down below. I read all my comments and try to reply to as many as I can. Thank you for watching. If this video helped, please leave a like, and if you do have a friend who may be interested, feel free to share it with them. See you in the next one.